Namaste. Today I tell you about Chinese face reading. And we start with the predictive part of our face, signs of the face. Our life is similar to the part of which different events happen, and the road itself in different sections is different. It leads us up and down, then even and then rocky. So, are events random, and is there a pattern in which section of the path we go to this time segment? Life experience tells us that such a pattern exists, and in the universe it's called the Law of Causal Relations. In India it's called the karma. In the West the world called it rock and fear. What is the solution to this situation? It's simple enough: to stop relying in our life on the definitions laid down in the database, our memory, based on dual concepts, and being to perceive reality as it is. It's important to try at every moment of time to understand for yourself what is happening, for what the universe teach you. This will allow us to see the best course of action in this situation, which will have a beneficial effect of the consequence of the event, and will help us to realize that our destiny is created by our thoughts, actions, and attitudes at every moment of the present moment. Sometimes it seems that everything is not as we would like, and what is happening creates problem for us. And so in life repeatedly repeats and nothing change. Stop. Perhaps the universe is repeatedly trying to say something to you using these examples, and you need to reconsider your attitude to what is happening in the present and to past events in order to break the closed circle and stop the chain on confused events. Sometimes the causes of what is happening are laid down in past lives. Information about which is stored in the memory of the soul, and access to most people is closed. Few people realize their soul, and also few who have conscience in direct contact with it. Most do not have such contact, and many do not believe in the existence of the soul at all. Physics has proved that our thoughts shape destiny. Every person who steps on this path of self-knowledge, he is always on the lookout. He always understands himself. This is the key to your development. When you are interested in you, curious, it's a sign of youth. The face always in front of you. You can read more information from your person. No data about a person is needed. If you go to astrologer or numerologist, needs some name to name and year of birth, then in face reading this is not necessary. You just see a person in communication with him, read the informations intuitively. In face reading there is no energy cost, like an extra sense. In the Middle Age of China, the Chinese doctor could not touch women. This had to be diagnosed only by the appearance of women. Through professionalism, they improved their skills. And by the way, honest to watch today, I think today is completely the day that during the period of isolation of the pandemic, the doctor also cannot give a correct diagnosis if there is a camouflage of space he had. A doctor wearing the dress of space suit so that they go on the some call for patients, and just imagining that old lady, 85 years old, goes to doctor and she waits for an ordinary doctor in white clothes, yeah, and suddenly what she found in front of herself is astronaut. She is panicked. She is never seen one. Further, in order to diagnose her, the doctor must listen to her lungs, but it's not impossible to do with a helmet in your head. The doctor must swallow the chest with his fingers and to detect some sounds from inflammation. But in rubber gloves, it's not impossible to do this. You need to look at the throat, mucous membranes, and in gloves this is so difficult. You need to measure blood pressure, and you cannot put a phonodoscope in your ears then under a helmet. The impracticality of viewing the patient is a distance impaired the health of the population. Therefore, it took a long time to hone the professionalism for Chinese doctor. In China, everything is connected to energies feng shui. The Chinese very much apply the life of face reading on their lives. Face reading is a science for them. It's a part of medicine that is used to diagnose disease in order to treat people. It's important for them not so much to have the quality of character as suspicious person. We choose friends by character, and Chinese determine the choose by degree of success in some area. Although they give a big place to energy and sign of the face and how to choose a partner in energy and not in character qualities. The difference is very big for us. Chinese face reading is very reconciled to life as predictive, and it's more even full life. I hope after this class you will study the face more close and find interesting things. You can see from one side you see very beautiful grass weed and another tractor in mud. The Chinese carefully look at the face for damage, that the surface of the face would be even as wheat, hard without any damage. Of course, we all really want such a face. We look at the photo on the lawn, we want to walk barefoot, but we will not run barefoot on the mud, isn't? So, with the face, the smoother the face, the healthier the face and better the energy moves from top to bottom and bottom to top. And of course, it gives luck to a person in some directions. We can compare the face with the road or the lawn. It's look like you see on the road some damage, strike. We can compare. If we see scars on the face, damage as in the photo, you can see on the way. Of course, usually you can look, this is in India, and you now can compare this is picture of his face. A scar is a scar that has healed wounds. And the wounds, how does it happen? In fact, it's the same explosion as on the face. These are all the irregularities that make the progress of energy worse. And if some scars appears on the face, then this suggests that energy has to go around this place. Or do you need to fix this place somehow? Well, how, right? If we see this is on the road, of course we should improve our road, whereas we can go straight. Then we need to take some tools in life. Let's prepare interaction with fate exam. We look, there was an explosion on the road and it needs to be repaired. In human fate, the same this happens. It's a sign. Although I already noticed more than once with my acquaintance when the baby scars overgrown. Yes, there were scars, but through life of a person the scars tightness just disappears. This occurs when a person passes this exam. Sign, it's a scar. This means that during this period there will be some kind of exam in your life. The universe tests us with what we are filled with, scans your thoughts. The universe checks our balance and how much light is filled. If we are filled with bright energy, positive, then we calmly move to the next class and may even not notice this transition. But if we have any imbalance, then how the universe will decide? All development options are made towards trials, disease, divorce, problems, difficulties that the universe sent us. In this way, we are moving to a new level. On the photo, you can see some road with some spots. We will no longer pass barefoot, but we can pass by car. Imagine that a person is energy who wants to go barefoot along the road, and where the scar, he has to go around. Where the little spots are, it's a discretion. In order for energy to pass, man also needs to show the universe that he is not afraid of it. It's filled with light. Now, let's go and see picture. That's similarities to the years. You can see on this is photo, and you have number, and women have numbering from the right to the left, and men from the left to the right. And the years, we look at our childhood. Yes, it's numeration of the age. In woman on the right, in men from the left side. The presence of scars suggests that fate loves you. Fate says that at this age you will have an exam. Prepare. Fate is not evil. She argues very fairly. She giving you a clue. If you have a scar and this information scare you, do not be afraid of this. The universe sees your potential. It knows that you can pass the exam, so it gives you the date of the exam. If we look around us, a lot of people die. Fate doesn't give sign to everyone. And if she gives you a sign, then there is an opportunity to pass this exam. People who have scars on their face and know this information have many more chance than these who live like folk. Fate gave us clue that we could get around them. I will show examples of people who intuitively felt and prepared for this. This information is not to scare, but to your awareness and your work on yourselves. Sometimes people go through their lives brightly but very short. Man stands in the highest stage of evolution development, and until today man is the only creature in the universe that cannot understand itself. Science and teaching as medicine, philosophy, astrology, palmistry, psychological face reading. In the period from conception to 13 years, you can see on the here, the life of the oracles is reflected. There is a difference between man and woman. In woman numbering, beings with the right ear, a man from the left ear. Why does this happen? It turns out that both girls have a more developed left hemisphere of the brain, so girls early start talking, develop faster, they have more ability to learn. Therefore, women are more emotional and men live more logically. The difference in brain development and perception of the world. Therefore, in girls, the left hemisphere of the brain is reflected on the right side of the face. From the age of 14, all signs on the face are reflected. There is also a mechanism from the top to bottom. As biological processes are born and involved, fate seems to descend on a person and put certain marks on his face. Here I will give the words of one of the first face readings, Gaspard Lafayette. The face is its ability to read as it's inherent in books, with only one difference: they read faster and deceive us less. In face reading, you need to take into account everything: pits, any bulges, thoughts, spots, scars. In this case, we will consider scars. Facial scars are of a great importance. What is a scar? It's a hem from the healed wood. But as you understand, no one accidentally inflicts wounds on himself. Wounds are completely accidental. Here I just remember one classic. He said, I believe in impeccable exit accident. And Voltaire said, but there is no accident. Everything in this world is either a test or punishment or a reward or a precursor. Scars are precursor. Scars are sign, not always accident. It's not given to everyone. Who has it, it's necessary to work with it. Start for example, we will look the photo of the American actress Sandra Bullock. Sandra was participation in the movie The Destroyer, and she was 29 years old. And when you see, she has big scars and age varies between 29 and 33. This is bigger. I did you can see. Yeah. And when she was 29 years old, she was nominated for Anti Award as the worst supporting actress. Then, where she was 30 years, everything fine properly. was movie Speed released, and it was very popular. This movie elevated her as a star, and she became very popular. The investment in the film was not great, but the success and fear was stunning. And they decided to make a Speed 2, and it failed. It came at the age of 33. Then you can see 32 years. And Sandra Block's photo diagrams. There's a scarf, and these scarves put fate not only on her but on the whole world. Bad luck, the continuations of the film could not repeat this success. After such a failure, the actor said that she was switching to low budget film. Her scarf is long, and this energy of bad luck pulled her in the movie industry. The actress is actively engaged in charity work. Therefore, her fate checked for her trials, and she passed them with a slight loss. Here you can give a lot of examples of actors by viewing their face and analyzing their personal life. Next example, I show you Gaurav Tiwari. Gaurav Tiwari was CEO and founder of the Indian Paranormal Society. He was seen on different television channels in India, promoting paranormal research. He conducted a local TV program about mysterious places and events. He was engaged in the study of paranormal phenomena since 2009. Gaurav Tiwari was found dead at his home in Delhi. Pathologists found a mysterious black strip on the man's neck, which cannot explain the origin. They believe that this is not a trace of a loop. In except of paranormal phenomena during his career, managed to visit more than 6,000 houses with hosts. If you look carefully at his photo on the left side of the eyebrow, we will see some damage to hair cover. And if you see this between 28 to 31 years old, he had trouble with fate, and this is damage coming for 31 years old, and 31 years old he was gone. Scars are harbinger of some kind of turning point that needs to be noticed. Prestige as an exam. Remember our school years or college. When you go to the exam knowing the tickets, whatever tickets you take, you know what to say. Having prepared, you can pass any exam. If we do not study for a whole year and we learn only one ticket for the upcoming exam, and we hope for a happy case that it will be fun to us. Perhaps, yes, if there is sign of good luck, but perhaps not. And there is a chance that we will not pass the exam and remain for the second year. Here is the sign. There's a kind of exams that by fate we need to pass, and it's easier and more complicated. Often it turns out that a person passes the exam with an asterisk according to the results during the year. And often people do not notice this tipping point, but quite often people come to their mistake. Indian faces are not easy to view, and there is a lot of makeup, but I found something to compare more. This is Indian actress TV serial Pratyusha Banerjee. This is probably only a photo without makeup from the Big Boss program, where I can see the reality of a person's appearance. Can you see? Right at the center of his for her forehead are small scars. You can many see. And how they are located? A zigzag. And despite the flow of these wounds, she had a bulge of good luck on her forehead. This is, I will tell you next time about good luck. But at Career Palace, she just has a garden of these woods. And despite this, she was very lucky on the screens TV. As we know, she was gone by the age of 24. You can see. Their desires are fulfilled. That's desires of wish. People with horns should be very careful with their desires in anger. When we enter the exam period, this is difficult period. There is change in life, more to the wrong side. But do not be afraid of scars. This possibility of a difficult period to pass it. This system has small errors, plus minus 1 year. Not everyone has sign. And even the presence of sign does not indicate that this is impossible to avoid. Example, I found some more picture of Jia Khan, Indian actress. If we look at this is picture again, that we will see spots and continuing and matching with this is age. Around 24 years, see between. That's I told that's photo maybe plus minus 1 years. As we know, Jian Khan was gone whereas she was 25 years old. We need to engage in self-knowledge development. What are we are here for? To learn, to take lessons, and someone just exit. Man is the only living creature that knows he's gonna die. And how can we live after that? Some people have circuit numbers of the opposite circuit. When a person is left-handed and when a person has more than opposite energy. Look, man according to the female picture and woman according to the male picture. And if female energy prevails more in man, then we look at the female picture and the turnover. Exam. What is the exam in terms of fate? We live and accumulate a total energy. Some people prefer to have a negative attitude to life, to be offended by someone. This is training state. Some event occurs in life and we give it color. Someone sees a negative aspect in what happened and someone is positive. And we all react differently to each event. Whatever you or your loved ones have scars, you need to accumulate positive emotion as much as possible to react in exchange to everything that happens in life positively. This is an extra drop of the scales of positive thinking. Our task in the life of which person, whatever there is a scars or not, is to develop positively more, to make the world brighter. A lot of us go into the negative and to our desire it drags us there. But if you have a scar, very careful filter what you are doing, thinking as much as possible. Try to do good work and out more positively do some charity. But it's not charity as you take some picture then show in Facebook and everyone can show it, say, see what I did charity.
This is not for publicity. A person works with himself, not any condemnations or comparison with another. At a certain point in time, the universe is our examinator. The universe comes and asks, what have you accumulated more, negative or positivity? All resentment, anger, hatred, not acceptance of some person. This is what pulls us to the bottom, are put into the negative. And life specifically gives us provocate moment that we would show some kind of negative. Therefore, it's necessary to clearly filter your thoughts, aspirations. Everything negative that we do is postponed in our karma. At this moment, when you have a scarf, a verifier comes from the universe and watches. What is more about a person, good or bad? If there's more to the desire of bad, it means that he did not prepare for exam. He didn't learn a lesson. Why transfer him to the next class? He needs to be returned to the same class and let him pass this exam. Either his fate forces him to return, everything will be taken away from him and forces to walk, or a person leaves this world. We are all students and everyone goes their own way. And if there's a scar, it's cool. Everyone is actually dying. Everyone is in trouble. But only these people who have signed, they know about these troubles in advance. And they can prepare. The universe gives us aggravating factors for our internal struggle and our spiritual growth. Each of us is responsible for ourselves. Therefore, in order to develop good karma, it's necessary to give as much as possible the positive energy of the universe and the people who surround you. A person has bad events in life that he does not like. Therefore, we must find a reason to thank the universe for giving the test, trouble for your self-realization, and work it out with yoga meditation. Sign or opportunities that you could work with it, do something, and not just put your hands down. Face reading will allow us to prolong this life. Sometimes people do beauty scoring on their face. You imagine that how mental disorders, how not to take yourself in order to create additional troubles on your face. It comes from the subconsciousness. If people do not face reading, then they do not understand on consciousness level what they carry. But on a subconscious level, they do not hear their awareness. A person does not accept himself. Have you heard of the self-destructions program? The man includes the program, the lunch, and the going on. Now I tell you last pictures of Sushant Singh. As you know, he passed 1 month ago. Let's compare this photo to the diagrams what I show you in front. We can understand that there may be some coincidence, but now we can analyze. If you look at this is picture, you can compare it with Sushant's face. We see a few scar prints. How many events of the clues gave fate? Sometimes people say the price of fate. At the age of 70 to 20, you can see in this is diagrams. And again, he has had vertical scars, indicates a difficult period of life. As we know, at 17 his mother died, and for him begins a new independent stage of life, studies and gay from home. On the left side of eyebrow, also having a scar. It comes age 28. In 2014, the movie came PK. Watch as fate is terrible, because he has horns of luck. We'll talk about them next time, whereas coming to luck points of the face. By 29 to 33, on the right side of eyebrow, it has a big scars. Big examination. This period is too more difficult on professional activity and also in personal. Some superrotate. By 34 years, from above of the right eyebrow, and look here, a part of damage, the integument epidermis is broken. And if we look at the diagrams, when we see the number 34. Also at the bottom of the eyes he has dark dots, but not in this picture. I show this in another video. When a person is very famous, you represent how much energy in a circle and how difficult is it to work with them. The higher the stakes, the more difficult the lesson. Each event is viewed under the microscope. If there is difference in the first grade to take an exam or at the institute in the last year, this about the level where every little things can be fatal. And the scar during this period told him, be careful. A lot of experience and there is negative energy. Most of all, during such a period of time, people have a decline in mood, grinding, divorces, alcohol goes to the diet of fun. There are always people who are worse than you. So remember it. If you know you have a scar, that you can work with it. You can always find a way to generate clean, good, positive energy. I believe in chance. What you watch today, this program, then you strange to the light. I try to give that information that is perceived only by people who want to develop. People who want to fight. Let of steam will not come here, for that there are other channels. And the fact that you are drawn to knowledge, this already fact suggests that you are in this direction. Craving for knowledge, this is also development of positive energy. If you spend time working with yourself to get some knowledge, it's a big plus in your karma and bright knowledge. I think the negative information was full. I hope you were not scared. I give it with cautions and with motivation that you could develop. All the informations come in time. For last, I won't tell you some parable about Moses. Moses saved people for 40 years walking in the wilderness, and the great king recognized him. The king sent his painters to paint a portrait of Moses. They did their job well, came to the king. The king invited his face-reading experts and asked to characterize the portrait. They replied, "The man is tough, rude, and everything is in negative spirit." The king became fond of who his artist or face reading expert were, right? Not thinking much, the king decided that he himself needed to see Moses. After seeing Moses, the king asked, "My painters painted you, Pater, amazingly. Why did the face-reading expert characterize you so much terrible?" To which Moses replied, "Yes, I was so, but I worked a lot on myself. Now people thinking I am enlightened." This parable wants to show to you that we need to accumulate positive emotions as much as possible. React and do that happens in life positively. Prepare working on yourself, solving psychological difficulties, driving out resentments, doing self-knowledge, yoga, meditation, and charity work from your heart. Thank you. All the best.